Hello, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And today, as you can see, our subject is building consistency. How do you do the things you need to do consistently and when you need to do them? But not just when you need to do them, but before you need to. Because often, especially when it comes to health, people will take care of their health only when they're forced to. Only when the doctor tells you that either you cut back on those sodas or you're going to die in 2 years. That's when people start taking care of it. But I want to help you to build consistency and do the right habits before you get to a point where it's life or death or there's a lot of pressure on the line. Because I'd much rather you get things in order before things get bad than wait until the ship is already sinking to get on the lifeboat. Now, let's move into it. Be, do, become. So I need you to get a piece of paper for this and a pen. Paper, pen, pencil, as long as you can write this out. Write out in order to be your desired outcome, I must do habits and steps towards the desired outcome. To keep that desired outcome, I must become new identity. So an example of this is very often people want to lose weight. New Year's rolls around, everybody wants to lose some weight. They say this is going to be the year when I get in shape. This is going to be the year when I take care of myself. In order to desired outcome, lose 20 pounds, I must habits and steps toward desired outcome, make healthier food choices and exercise daily to keep the desired outcome. To keep the 20 pounds off, I must become someone who, new identity, takes excellent care of their health and makes good choices daily. Now, if your goal was to make more money, it would be in order to get a higher paying job or raise or a career, I must fill out an application to get a job in the first place. I must get a certificate for certain medical professions, like being a doctor, you need a degree for that. Or to get the raise, you need to be a hard worker. You need to show that you are someone who's earned that. In order to keep this desired outcome of making more money, you have to stay good at your job. You have to show up on time. You have to do the things which keep you in the right position. And it also makes the identity of I'm somebody who shows up. I'm reliable. I am dependable. I am a hard worker. I am dedicated. I am persistent. These are things which become part of your identity. And if you have not watched the video titled I Am, Who Are You? Yeah, it should be titled I Am, Who Are You? That's going to explain identity so well. Like I break it all down in there. We go into the mental aspects of identity, how that affects the way you handle your money, how that affects your behaviors, how the people, places, and things around will also affect you. So if you have not watched that, go watch it. You can pause this one, come back to it later after you finish that, because that one's going to be very good context for this. So now, to just end off this section, to be what you want, you must do certain things. And in order to keep doing these things, you must become somebody. To be a good father, you must do the things a father does, like show up on time, take the kids out for dinner and stuff, support, protect the family. To do that consistently, you must become a protector, a provider, a reliable person. You must become something new to keep the thing you want. Now, a perfect example right here. Small, consistent habits lead to massive change over time. These photos are 4 years apart. Now, just very simply, a Planet Fitness membership. Eating some good foods, taking care of myself the best I could. Of course, during those 4 years, there were a lot of times when I wasn't super consistent. I was eating the wrong things. I wasn't training properly. So I could have been much farther ahead But you see the point that even small things over a long enough time make a difference. Much bigger shoulders here, much bigger forearms here. The bone structure is a little different, so the face looks different there. Um, Things like that. Now, let's move into this. Primary goals. What is this all about? How to identify what you need to do to get where you want, building the habits that we found earlier. So we're going to get to that soon. Making these habits like breathing. For example, I don't think about going to the gym, I just kind of do it. I'm not exactly sure how to explain this. I wake up and my body's like, all right, it's time to go do this now. And one way or another, I find myself at the gym. Or if I'm not at the gym, I just happen to end up doing some push ups or going for a walk or a run or something that exercises me because it's a core identity of I'm somebody who takes care of myself. So because this is part of my identity, I don't need to think about it. It's like when you reach in your pocket to grab your phone. You don't think I'm going to reach into my pocket to grab my phone. You just do it. Now, what do you want? What's the big picture? What is the goal? What do you want? Maybe you want to lose 50 pounds. Maybe you want to become a millionaire. Maybe you want to handle stress better. You might want a girlfriend or husband, boyfriend, whatever. So now that you know what the big picture is, like, I want $1 million. That's the big picture. What do I need to do to get $1 million? I want to lose 50 pounds. What do I need to do to lose 50 pounds? I want a relationship. What do I need to do to have that relationship? You know the goal. Now you need to know what you must do to acquire that goal. So, know what you want to be, what to do, and to make it consistent, who you must become. Healthy people have a core identity of being healthy, which directs their habits. Like, they stay healthy, not just because they do healthy things, but they do healthy things because I am a healthy person. It all ties back to I am. What comes after I am will direct your life. I am hardworking. So you become hardworking. And it's not just the words that you say, because anybody could say, I am a millionaire. Well, where's the money? I am healthy, but you're 300 pounds overweight. I am an amazing basketball player, but you can't even dribble. I'm not saying to be delusional. I'm not saying to lie to yourself. I'm saying that your true identity is what you hold core, your core beliefs, what you truly think about yourself, what you truly think about the world, and what you truly think about others. Because often people say, "Oh no, everybody's out to get me." Um, the world isn't meant for people like me. Politics, racism, sexism, this, that. And yes, these are real issues. Yes, things happen. Yes, not everyone is going to be nice to you, but that does not mean that you say everyone's out to get me. Because the world's going to hear that. It's like the universe hears that, God, whatever you believe, hears that and says, oh, so this is what you believe. This is what you hold true. So I'm going to give you that. Like, I'm going to give you that. The universal force or higher power, what you believe, is very, very generous. It will give you whatever you truly ask for, whatever you truly put your emotion and your faith and your heart into, and you say, this is my truth, it will give you that. Like, if you truly, absolutely believe, undoubtedly, with no exception, that you will be successful, it'll happen. It will happen. And how can I say that? Because look at my life. It is happening all around me. Look at somebody like Madam C.J. Walker. who, during a time of intense racism, created a hair brand and decided, you know what, I'm going to help these people. And look how far that took her. She ended up being John Rockefeller's next neighbor. Like, she became ultra rich off that. Even though that wasn't her intention, ultimately, her core belief of I can achieve this, I can make this work, I can I can overcome any obstacle. Because when she was making her hair products in her kitchen, the house burnt down. And then she went and got a factory because she said, this isn't going to stop me. This isn't going to stop me. I said I'm going to be successful, no exception. So she became successful, no exceptions. So you can replace this with successful people have the core identity of being successful before they even get the success. Like, before they even get the success, they know I am successful. I am. I will be. I'm going to. It's happening. It's going to. Like, there's no exception. It's yes or yes. It's succeed or succeed. Failure is not an option. It's not yes or no. It is yes, yes. Succeed, succeed. Up, up. There's no going back. Forward, forward. So when you have an identity that is aligned with what you want, when you have the identity of being healthy, when you have the core beliefs of being healthy, you will naturally begin to do the things you need to do without even thinking about it. Now, it takes 30 days for a habit to form. It also takes 30 to break one. That's why in places like AA and NA, so Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, they often focus on getting you through that first month. And on top of that, they make it clear that every day you just got to get to the next day without relapsing. So, here, your goal. I want to lose 20 pounds. I keep using losing weight as an example that a lot of people understand and can relate to. But if you're somebody who has a history of like an eating disorder, you can replace this with something like gaining weight because some people starve themselves too much, other people overeat too much. I'm just using weight as an example that is easy to comprehend, easy to understand. If you have a history with an eating disorder, like I said, replace this with something that is more applicable to you. So, the goal is to lose 20 pounds. That's the big picture. What do I have to do? Go on a diet and exercise. Who must I become? Someone who consistently makes healthy choices. Now, how do I consistently make healthy choices? You start small, then build up. So I'm not saying that today you got to go in your refrigerator and throw everything out that's not salads and fruits and beef. I'm just saying you start small and you build your way up. So as long as each day you're doing something to not break this habit, it will become automatic. Like, if every day, I'm going to use a good example. Let's say you're someone who lives close enough to a grocery store and you don't need a lot of groceries. Like, maybe you're living on your own. Instead of driving there, get a bike or a tricycle with a basket and ride there. Or instead of driving to places that are really close to you, go for a walk, go for a run. Another option is instead of soda, water. Very small decisions, but over time they will have a very big effect. Or another example could be instead of buying fast food and Popeyes and all these other things that you know are unhealthy, you could go buy some hamburgers from Walmart. It's not to say that that's really good for you or super healthy, but of the two options, it's the better choice. Now, over time, you're going to get to a point where this becomes automatic. So you don't even think about it. Like, you don't even think about reaching in your phone, reaching in your pocket to grab your phone. Because you do it so much, it's just automatic. It's like when you get hungry. You don't think, I am hungry, now I'm hungry. You just hungry. It's automatic, like breathing. You don't think about breathing, you just breathe. You don't think about going to the bathroom, you just do it. You don't think about waking up. You just wake up. It's automatic. It's like a clock. When the alarm goes off, your body just does it. So you want to get your habits and the good habit that you want to a point where you just do it. However, you also have to make room. You only have so much space to put your habits. So you have bad ones like smoking, for example. You have to eliminate a bad habit to replace it with a good habit. It's like having a book bag. You have a limited amount of space to carry stuff in that bag. So you have to be well aware and intentional about what you put in there. You have to know what is valuable and what is not. Because you're just carrying around a bunch of trash, it's taking up space, it's not serving anything, it's weighing you down, it's holding you back. So you need to take that out and replace it with something that's beneficial, like waters or a laptop or books or something that benefits you rather than holds you back. Because a lot of people are holding on to things, people, and beliefs from when they were younger that are still holding them back. Like for me, I used to believe that I could not achieve, well, not necessarily I couldn't achieve what I wanted, but that I was afraid of being successful because when you become successful, it makes it harder for others to relate to you because everyone can relate to going out and partying every night. Everybody can relate to that. Everyone can relate to playing video games till 5 in the morning. Everyone can relate to bad habits like smoking. Everyone can relate to that. But not everyone can relate to the guy who is being successful, working towards a business, trying to do something to benefit the community. Not everyone can relate to that. So I had a belief that if I got too successful, it would be hard for me to make friends. And thankfully, that is the opposite. The more successful I've gotten and the better my life has gotten, the better of a person I've been able to be to others. And in turn, the better friendships and relationships I've been able to have. So, that is an example of a mental habit, like a thought that just reoccurs. Like you just automatically have that thought of, if I get too good, people aren't going to like me. So you need to learn how to replace those as well. And those are things that you have to break in the same way you would a physical habit. When you have that bad thought, you gotta replace it. You gotta look at it, understand it. Where is this coming from? Why am I thinking this? Figure that out and then replace it. And over time, you'll create a much better life. You'll create better physical habits, such as going to the gym, drinking water, getting the right amount of sleep, whilst also creating better mental habits of better thoughts, better ideas, creating plans for your life, creating schedules, things like that. Now, how to make good habits so ridiculously easy, it's impossible to not do them. Because sometimes it feels like the things we need to do are hard. Like they're a lot harder than the things we know we shouldn't do. Like it's really, really easy to scroll on TikTok for an hour. That's super easy. But it's a lot harder to go to the gym for an hour, or to read a book for an hour, or to write in a diary for an hour. So, here's some examples I've used that can help to make these things so easy that it's almost impossible to not do the habit. So, for exercise, let's say you wanted to build some muscle, or you wanted to just, well, building muscle isn't just like a manly kind of thing. Everyone can benefit from it because it has great benefits on the body. Obviously, I am no expert. Like I am not certified expert in fitness coaching. However, as somebody who has spent 5 years working out, I can tell you that if you're a woman and you pick up some weights, unless you decide to become a bodybuilder and you're deliberately doing workouts that create a more typically masculine frame, you're not just going to be walking around like the Hulk if you pick up some weights, okay? Let's get that out the way. So, to exercise, find a cheap set of weights. Uh, here's one right here actually. You could get something like this off Amazon for like $10. Get you some cheap weights and sit them in front of your bedroom door. Like, sit them right in front of your bedroom door. So the only way that you can leave your room is by picking these up. And now they're in your hands. So you might as well, get a little exercise in, curl them 25 times, whatever works good for you. A diet. A lot of people, this is where it gets real hard for them. Like, this is where they can have everything else down, but it's that diet, it's what they eating that's getting them. Now, only putting healthy food in your house based on what you can afford in your living situation. That way you have no other choice. Because to eat organic food is pretty expensive. That's why I'm saying based on what you can afford. So, yes, you might not have money to go buy grass-fed beef, but for like $7, you can get Raisin Bran instead of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Now, yes, Raisin Bran is not 100% good for you. It does have certain additives in there, but compared to Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Captain Crunch and things like that and Fruit Loops, it's a lot better of a choice. So that's why I say based on what you can afford. So if you have the money to go out and buy organic grass-fed beef and lamb chops and all those things, go ahead and do that. But I know not everyone is fortunate enough to have that option. So I'm using examples of food that you can find at corner stores, your local Walmart, a Target, a fresh grocer, places like that are affordable. And on that same note, I want to mention that if you're somebody who wants to eat better, but you don't have a huge budget, Grocery Outlet, if you have one of those near you, is a great option. They have very fantastic prices, fresh food. I've never had no problem with them. Great selection, lots of different things to choose from. So, Grocery Outlet is a fantastic option there. Also, on the same note of diet, is going to come into what you drink. So I said it backwards. Instead of getting a bunch of sodas and sweet teas and things like that, getting waters, getting um, healthy teas, so green teas, matcha teas, things like that. They taste really great and they're good for you. Another option is instead of using sugar in your drinks, use honey. You want that just organic honey. Yet again, that can get expensive, but honey is a much better option than just plain sugar. It's got a bunch of health benefits to it as well, just don't overdo it. Anything overdone can become bad for you. Watching less TV. So let's say you wanted to watch less TV or just stop playing video games as much. Unplug your TV and put it in your closet. Might sound a little crazy, but I've done it before. It works really, really well. Or unplug your game system and put that in your closet. That's another thing I've done before. Works super well. Because now you got to think to yourself, is it worth me getting up, opening my closet, tearing it out, sitting it on the table, plugging it in, setting it up, turning it on, and then sitting back down? Is it worth all that? And that gives you enough time to start thinking, well, I do got to finish some homework. I got to send out this email. I have to do this. I have to do that. And sooner or later, you realize that you have much more important things to do. Drinking water, another very simple one, very easy, straight to the point. Get yourself a really big water bottle. Another option, if you're not a fan of carrying around the water jugs, is get yourself a cup like this. It's a thermos cup. I'm trying to see if I can find the fluid ounces on it. But yeah, I can't find how much water this holds, but it's just a really big metal cup. Very durable, gonna last you a really long time. and you want to make sure you get plenty of water. Aim to get at least 1 liter, or some people they prefer to get more, like 4 liters. It all comes down to what you and your body feels best with. So don't over flood your system. Just make sure you get plenty of water when you're thirsty, when your skin feels dry. Just get your water. It's really, really good for you. Very helpful. It's one of those things that I think is a key element to having a good life. Because think about it. Humans have been on this planet for like 1 million years or something like that. And we've only had soda for like 200. For like 200 years out of 1 million. We were just drinking straight water or tea. Well, there was water, tea, coffee, but things like that. We weren't drinking Dr. Peppers and Coca Colas. Now, that's not to say that I myself, I do indulge in a few from time to time, but I'm talking about once, twice a week, not constantly all day. There's everything, if done overboard, becomes bad. If you drink 10 gallons of water, you're going to mess up your stomach. But if you don't get enough water, you get dehydrated, it messes up your skin, your throat gets all dry, your lips start cracking. Take care of yourself is the point I'm getting at. Take care of yourself. You matter. Now, other ways to build some consistency. Make your bed every morning when you wake up. This is where you start and end your day. It's going to set off some good momentum, and a well-kept room is a well-kept mind. Pick at least 3 things you got to do each day for the rest of your life. For me, it is I have to write, I have to do some sort of physical exercise, and I have to make my bed. Yeah. Write, exercise, make my bed. These 3 things get done every day unless I am in a flight to a different place. Because if I am not in my room when I wake up, I can't make the bed. You get the point though. These are simply things that you have to do every day to help build consistency and create habits that you just cannot break. Because by having certain things in your life that you always do this, it lays a framework to build off of. That's why in the military and the Navy, they tell you every day make your bed. And they will get really mad at you if you don't, because it's the start of your day. How you start your day is how you're going to move through your day. If you start your day on a rough note, a lot of times you're going to move through your day on a rough note. You start your day on a good note, it lays the framework to have a good day. Very straight to the point. Start your day good, helps you make your day better. Create a schedule or checklist. Now, me personally, I'm not a huge fan of having a schedule because it just feels too limiting to me. But that's my own personal thing. I've used them before, they're great. I just prefer checklists. I like to have a list of things like, okay, Lawrence, today you have to do this, 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 this. And throughout my day, I'm like, all right, did that, did that, did that, did that. And it doesn't necessarily matter when I do them unless there's a time constraint, like, okay, you have to be at this place at 12:30. That I set a schedule for. But if it's something like read 10 pages of a book today, I will check that off when I want to. I will still do it. Like, it will get done, but not at some specific time. So, a schedule or a checklist, this depends on your personal feeling with it, but they're both really great. They help you with time management. They allow you to know what you need to do each day, because if you don't know what you need to do, how do you expect to get things done? They also help you to stay on the right path, because if you don't know what you need to do, you're not going to be able to get to where you want to go. It's like a GPS. When you go to your GPS, you say, take me to this address. It says, okay, here's what you need to do. Go 1 mile straight, quarter mile left, then another mile straight down. Checklist of 1 mile down, right, left, right, Damn. Right. Got it. So, by knowing what you need to do, you stay on the right path. Because if you were just driving around aimlessly, hoping to get to where you want to go, you might get there, or it's going to take you a way longer time because you could have just gone straight here, but instead you didn't know what to do. You didn't have the right plan. You didn't stay on the right path. So you had to go like this and then like that and then back here and now you get here, but it took you way longer than if you just knew, okay, here's the path, down the path, here's what to do. Now, summary. To achieve your desired outcome, you must first know what you want. What is your goal? What do you want? How to get it? What do you need to do? Who must you become? Your identity change. Because to lose 20 pounds, anybody can lose 20 pounds. The hard part is not gaining back the 20 pounds. So anybody can do what they need to do to lose the 20 pounds. But the people who keep it off are the ones who say, I am a healthy person. I make healthy choices. I take care of myself. I take care of my body. And so I don't gain back the 20 pounds and somebody else does. It's a matter of identity. Who are you? I am a healthy person. I am not 200 pounds. I am 180. This is what it is. I am not that person. I am this. I have changed myself from the past into who I now am. And by changing my identity, changing who I believe myself to be, changing what I do, changing my habits, changing my thoughts, I have a completely different life than I did before. So, to have a six pack, you must exercise and eat healthy foods. And to keep it, you must create the identity of someone who takes excellent care of their body. It's not just what you do, how you do it, but who are you? Why do you do it? What makes you keep doing it? What makes you show up to the gym on those days when you're tired? What makes you keep working towards that business even when it seems hard? What makes you keep pushing on even through the challenges? What makes you do what you do? What makes you ambitious? What makes you push? What makes you strive? And by knowing this, you can create the habits and stick to them because your habits are a matter of what you believe. And by doing them repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly, you will make them so automatic that you don't even think about it. Like, I don't, like I said earlier, I don't necessarily think about exercise. I just do it. It's like a habit. It's like, okay, time to do it. I don't think about breathing. I just breathe. I don't think about waking up. I just wake up. I don't think about eating. I just eat. Now, yes, I make smart decisions when I eat. I don't just eat anything. But when it's time to eat, it's time to eat. When it's time to use the bathroom, it's time to use the bathroom. So likewise, when it's time for you to do the thing that you need to do, when it's time for you to do the habits you need to do, that's going to build you up into the person that you want to be and create the identity that will keep the thing you want, it's time to do it. So in conclusion, by learning how to make consistent habits, you will be able to achieve your goals and keep it. So, the solution to being consistent is once you start, you gotta keep doing it. Okay? No matter what, you have to keep this chain going. It's like a domino, right? You have a little itty bitty domino, and then a slightly bigger one, then a slightly bigger one, slightly bigger, slightly bigger, slightly bigger. And then at the end, you have this one that's like this big. If on any day you let yourself slip up and break this habit, now it's like you're starting back from zero. Is it easier to write 1,000 pages in a day or to write one page for 3 years? After 3 years of writing one page a day, you will have 1,900, 1,095. I believe that's correct. I'm going to get my calculator just to make sure that I did that math properly. 365 times 3. Yeah. if you write 1 page of a book each day, after 3 years, you're going to have written 1,095. Now, let's change this math a little bit. Let's say each day you write 5 pages. 365 x 5. So if each day for 3 years you wrote 5 pages a day, so 5 times 365 times 5, you're going to get 5,475 pages written. So that's a perfect example of how a little itty bitty bit, 5 pages. Let me show you this. 1 page, 2, 3, 4, 5. That little bit, a little bit over a long enough span of time creates massive change. A little consistency that keeps going over a long period of time creates massive change. And that is the message of today. Start small, keep doing it, and you will achieve and prosper to your goal. Have a blessed day.